Go live.
Oh, and I'm going to do a really truncated, extremely truncated synopsis so that we can just get right into it,
Dive
buddy.
into it, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. It says this video is private? Should not be private.
Hello there. Please stand by for technical difficulties. Please stand by for technical difficulties.
Okay. I think we're live.
Hello there. We every time we have these like tech issues on Zoom or whatever and YouTube, not blaming YouTube, or Zoom or anything like that, I always kind of want to go into my like 1940s British path like overview, like, voice impression kind of deal.
Because we're so old-timey.
Yeah, I don't know, just to pass. I don't know, just yeah, probably. Well, news from Asia.
Yeah, we're pretty
The Crown Country has decided that they're going to succeed as the colonists.
we're
Never mind.
pretty lo-fi here. Okay, we are live. I had to confirm. So apologize to anybody watching who is suffering through what is happening right now. But you ready to get into this?
Yes,
Okay.
on your order.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Captain's Quarters, the unofficial Star Trek rewatch podcast, where we are rewatching the entire Star Trek franchise, starting at the beginning of the official chronology. We worked our way through Star Trek Enterprise, and we've moved on to Star Trek Discovery. My name's Gabe, with my co-captain Jason, who's doing sign language for those watching on YouTube.
No, no, don't even accuse me of that.
Um, yeah, make it so, Jason.
Hello there. How are you?
It's good. Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year. Yeah, to you too. It's been a couple of weeks. We spent shore leave on holiday with our families, and we hope everyone out there in internet land had a great holiday and a happy new year 2024.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
And
It's good to see
we're
you.
back. We're back.
Yeah, it's been too long. The rust is already showing by the start of
Oh, yeah.
you know,
I don't know. I Is it Rust, or do we usually have technical issues with Zoom and
that's
YouTube?
true. I think
Again,
we're
no
just
one to
old.
blame.
Yeah. Okay, today we're talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 1, Episode 11, called The Wolf Inside. So here's a brief synopsis. Um,
We'll edit that out.
okay, so Burnham is still stranded in the Mirror universe, and she must try to save the lives of a group of rebels who she is ordered to destroy by the Terran Empire while maintaining her cover as her Mirror universe counterpart. Meanwhile, a growing terror within Lieutenant Tyler consumes him and threatens the chances of the Discovery returning home. That's it. That's the synopsis.
Ooh, that's a good one. That leaves me
I,
hanging for wanting more.
hey, you know what? I stole that. So I
Okay,
stole that synopsis. So
okay. What do they say? Every great writer s- borrows something from another great writer.
sure, yeah, beautifully said. So first of all, kudos, Jason. I think every prediction you made has come true. So Tyler is Bach. Spoiler alert.
Whoa, we
Um,
jumped into that one quick. Okay, yep.
that's the growing terror
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
from the synopsis.
Yeah.
And
And the wolf inside from the title, I would imagine.
yeah, it's a double entendre too, though, right? Because he's a wolf inside Starfleet,
Yes.
but there's also a wolf inside him.
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Good point.
Um, so action-packed episode, man.
It was.
Yeah. So there's sort of two storylines. One is Tilly trying to save Stamets,
Hmm.
who has been taken over by the spores
Hmm.
and is unconscious. And at the beginning, very, very beginning of the episode, the teaser's little segment thing, it shows Stamets in some spore realm, and he's actually embracing his lover, the doctor. And I want to ask you about that.
Okay.
But so he's still around, but he could be in another dimension. His conscious could be in another dimension.
Hmm.
Tilly knows his research into spores very well. She figures out how to manipulate the spore samples that they do have to bring Stamets back. Doesn't quite work. Um, when we're not with Burnham in the episode, or with Tilly, she's working on that problem, and it resolves itself with this strange um, scene where Stamets confronts another version of himself in this spore realm,
Yeah. Yep.
and we don't really know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
So my question is, he's embracing the doctor,
Yeah.
but we believe that when we see Stamets do that, that's Stamets's real consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you believe that that also means that the doctor's consciousness is also real in that scene, and thus there's hope that the doctor could still be alive?
Wow. Okay.
He's in like limbo. Stamets
Yeah.
is
So
keeping
I
him
think
safe there.
no. Okay. So I, it's interesting to me because I have a hard time believing that this is the end for Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Culber.
I was hoping you would know. I have no idea.
Yeah, Dr. Culber.
Okay.
Dr. Culber? Oh my gosh. This is one of my failings in life in general. Don't remember names. Um, okay, so I think he's dead in that scene.
Yeah. Gets his neck
But
snapped by
yep,
Vok.
yep, by Ash Tyler Vock. And he is being held, and that I think that scene is also going to play a role. And here we go. Here's a guess that another major storyline for the next episode, and maybe even continuing into that, is Stamets's trek, let's say, through the mycelium network, where he meets, in my guess, his mirror self. I think that's a mirror self of himself. Mirror self of
Right,
himself.
because
Come on, Lim.
we haven't seen Mir Stamets or Mir Doctor, have we?
Right. No, we haven't. No, right, exactly. So, and to your second point, I do think that he will be brought back to life, but I think but for me, what kind of hinted at that was Tilly says a line later in the episode. It's that he said, she makes this fun fact to Saru where she says fungi are like the only organisms that link life and death,
Hmm.
or something to that nature, like
Yeah.
have a natural link between life and death. So I think he does get resurrected in one of the next episodes because of the mycelial network.
How does his neck unsnap?
So I don't know the answer to that. Uh Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but I have a feeling that there's, regenerative properties potentially or something that brings the doctor back.
What if
Maybe
they
not in the
bodies
next episode, but maybe like because I think we could be in this mirror episode, like mirror universe and mycelial network for a couple of episodes. I think this could be like a 3 or 4 episode arc. Because at the
have we
end
ever
of the episode, we meet bum bum bum, you know,
the Emperor,
the Emperor
which was
Palpatine.
another correct guess. Kudos again. That was another correct guess on you because you guessed that it would be Georgia, and it was.
Yeah, okay. So the only reason I guessed that was because even though I've never seen I've never seen the show, I had heard that Michelle Yeoh makes reoccurring appearances even after episode 1. So I was like, well, I'm wondering if they go into a mirror universe, Giorgio, or like she's resurrected or something like that. But yeah, I was like, there's only real like because I only had heard that she had been a recurring character again in Discovery, even after death. So
Hmm.
that was really just part of that guess.
Well, so I wanted to ask back to Doctor. Um,
Yeah,
what if they body snatch Mirror Universe Doctor's body and then put
could be.
regular
Yeah, could be,
universe's consciousness into
could
Mirror
be,
Universe body?
could be.
That wouldn't be very ethical, though.
No, it wouldn't, but it could be.
Unless maybe he gets his brain is scrambled. Like, let's say Mirror Universe Doctor is like no brain waves. He's like brain dead
Hmm.
somehow. I don't
He's
know what
also dead,
happens.
like
Yeah,
in regular universe.
but he's
Yeah.
like on life support.
Okay. Yep.
So his body's still good. I don't know what caused this. This is hypothetical. Then they
Okay.
take consciousness out of the spore realm, put it into new
Yeah,
body.
could be. I I don't know.
A lot of what
Or
ifs there.
or going riffing on that. Let's riff on that. I could totally see like the spores regenerating his consciousness, right, into
Hmm.
regular universe instead of mirror
Hmm.
universe, dead or alive, Dr. Culper.
Sure, sure. We just got to fix that neck, man.
Yeah, I know.
Tyler Tyler snapped that thing good.
I know,
So
I know, I know, I know, I know. Stranger things have happened.
okay. So what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, why do you think we haven't seen Mirror Stamets and Mirror Doctor? Do you think there's an a reason there, a plot reason, or we just haven't gotten to it? Because it's not like we've seen everybody.
Yeah, I don't think we, but I do think that, so to answer your first part, I do think Paul, the two Pauls
Yeah,
are in the
in
mycelial
the
network.
spore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but that's crazy that Mirror Stamets happens to also be because the chain of events that led regular Stamets to be in the spore realm
yeah,
was so specific and long. You know, it was a lifetime of research and the spore drive and the whole thing that got him there. Like, what are the chances that his mirror counterpart would also end
So
up there?
I think pretty good because
Or
so
do
I
you
think
think
the
regular Paul's actions caused Mirror to
no, I think
like pull him in
no,
somehow?
I think that Mirror Paul in this way mirrors our universe Paul in a lot of ways. And I think this goes back to Lorca saying, "Oh, Paul and I have done so much of this research in the mirror, in into the mycelial network, not the mirror.
Mhm.
But mirror Paul and mirror Lorca, since we now know that Lorca is actually from this universe, or that's what they've been hinting at, and that he escaped to the regular universe, our universe or whatever, and that's why he's been so different from every other Starfleet captain.
Well, that was your theory. We haven't confirmed that.
It was my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
So I
I
think
don't know. I
they
don't know. I would
developed
agree they've been
the
hinting
work
at that.
together, but in very different, in a very, in a very different, with very different intentions.
Okay. Um,
But again, it's just a
I
theory.
It's a good theory and it makes perfect sense. And I'm on board with it. I wouldn't have thought of it had you not brought it up, but I don't think the show is super hinting towards it. Like they're definitely hinting at there's something shady with Lorca and there's
Yeah.
some relatively unexplained change, but why he's so like Machiavellian. Like even in this episode, he says something like, sometimes the end justifies terrible means.
Yeah.
And he's basically telling um, Burnham to was it to destroy the rebel
Destroyed.
base?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically. Yeah. Basically.
yeah,
And that's the only, so this is like, dark side vibes, right? This doesn't
yeah.
give you tremor in the Force.
It
Like,
does for
that's the
sure.
reason why Lorca is so unlike everybody else, is that this is Mirror Lorca and he escaped to regular universe to capture the Discovery, to bring it back and to destroy, and ultimately I think he wants to usurp and
Yeah,
replace Giorgio as emperor, in my guess.
but I also think for someone like you, his juxtaposition between like him and the other captains that you know so well because you've
Yeah,
watched so much Star Trek,
yeah,
he probably sticks out like a sore thumb more so than someone like me
yeah,
because because I've only really watched Enterprise.
yeah.
And now to me, like, yeah, he seems like, oh, I didn't know that there was these captains who were so like, you know, wishy-washy with the rules and
Hmm.
just kind of um Machiavellian
Yeah.
um and that. But I just kind of took it. I was like, okay, well, I guess this is now that I'm like actually paying attention to a Star Trek show, I'm like seeing things that I never knew were
Hmm.
in the canon. I'm just like, okay, I guess Star Trek is a little bit more nuanced than I thought. Because to me, it was just like very altruistic or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. And that's absolutely true. But again, again, but this might be just me being an old school Star Trek fan. Um, they're usually not Machiavellian without pretty good reasons.
Yeah, it's like a life or death situation. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
situational.
Or like, you know, the Romulans killed my entire family. Starfleet didn't know, and I'm out to like disrupt the peace, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That kind of thing. This Lorca is just so far out there for me that I'm
Mhm.
like, well, he's got to be Mirror Universe. He may not be, right? He may not be. This is just a guess again.
Well, if he is, he's very aware. He's aware of both universes, and
Yeah,
he's lying to regular universe people. And all of his machinations have been to get back to his home universe.
yeah,
That's why he supported Burnham all the way through because I think he knew that he needed to get her there because she had a higher standing in the mirror universe, and he needed Burnham to masquerade as Mirror Burnham,
okay,
So he strung Burnham along to get her there.
So you never had that inkling that this could be.
Never, no.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But see, but you think about like Saru has a high standing in regular universe, but like Saru would be a worthless mole or whatever
Yeah.
in the mirror one.
Yeah.
Like if you brought Saru with you, it doesn't do you much good because now you just have someone who's a slave
Right.
and it has no power
Right.
um, in that universe, and so you can't use them. So I think that's why he was so adamant this whole time about keeping Burnham because he intended to use her in the mirror universe because
Yeah.
she was a captain. I don't know. I just thought.
No, I think that's very valid. No, I think that's gonna be. I think that you're gonna be proved to be. I think that's gonna be true.
Well, okay. What was the other thing I was going to say? So you got the Giorgio thing right. You got the Vok thing right. So,
I
so
didn't.
I,
Okay, so I didn't know. I'm gonna have to correct you on that one. I think. I don't think I actually said. I may have said he might be Vok,
mhm.
but I was in my mind. I was like, oh, I think he's just more of a Klingon sleeper, like agent that had his mind washed.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. But either way, I was impressed. So here's the thing. I actually watched this episode twice because
Yep, same here.
um, initially we were going to do this a couple weeks ago.
Yes,
So I watched it, and then we lost a couple weeks. So I
right.
watched it again. Um, I kind of half watched it today because like
Okay.
I just had like kind of one eye on it today. But it was interesting because the first time I saw it, when Tyler revealed that he's Vok, who
hmm
has been surgically altered to look human,
hmm
I just took it at face value. And I was also a little bit like, no, wait, Jason was right. This is um that Tyler isn't really Tyler. He's a Klingon. But then on the second time I watched it, I was like, you know what? They don't do anything to prove that he's Klingon. And it actually could be
They do.
brainwashed the whole time.
Right. No, but they do. And I'm glad you brought that up because I watched it again yesterday
Okay.
while in transit
Yeah.
because I saved it to my phone. Um,
Yeah.
but if you so I didn't catch this the first time. So I'm glad I went back and I'm to kind of refresh my memory. But what you don't notice because it happens very quick is that in the flashback surgery scenes,
Hmm.
you do see Ash Tyler getting surgically, being operated on. But in a small instant, and it happens real fast, it's actually Vok. They show Vok on the table being
But
operated on
but
with his
that
Klingon
mem
anatomy and all that kind of stuff.
that memory could have been planted.
It could have been. It could have been. It could have been.
What I'm saying, they didn't do like a DNA analysis. Like if they took a swab of Tyler and they're like, oh, he has
Yeah, they
Klingon
don't,
DNA.
but remember in the later part of the episode where he almost kills Burnham,
Yeah,
he says things on the Brit. He recounts things and events that happen on Takuvma's bridge that Tyler wasn't there, but Vok was. And so
sure.
him recounting that is saying, okay, yes, it is Vok
But if
being.
if they if they took a human
Mhm.
and brainwashed him and
Yes.
implanted the idea that he was Vok, they could have also implanted that knowledge
It could have, they
because
could have, they could have, they could have, they could have. The
because it would have
only
been the female Klingon who did it. She
right,
was there.
and
She knew
and
about
I
it
think we are going to get that answer. I think they will interrogate and ask Laurel who Ash Tyler Vok is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
so I
think
was
that either Saru or I think it's gonna be Saru. I don't know if Burnham has the I'm not sure if she's gonna have the emotional capacity to do that at the moment.
probably not.
Not saying that she's a weak character. It's just the psychological trauma of falling in someone who's not who they're supposed to be, I expect to be, right? And
Yeah.
then them almost killing you at the same time.
You know what I haven't done, and I wonder if you have done.
What?
Have you looked at the actor who plays Vok?
I
And
have
is it
not.
the same? Is it the
I
same
have not.
actor?
And no, I have not. And I didn't even think of, did they just dress up that character, that actor,
Yeah.
Ash Tyler into Vok, and
Hmm.
he's one and the same.
And like, I wonder if that was like in the credits since the get-go, and like someone could have figured it out
Yeah,
like right
maybe. I
away.
don't know. Yeah, no, I know, right? But to me, when Ash Tyler speaks in Klingon, though, it feels like he's being dubbed by some
Sure.
other actor's voice, by the guy who actually plays Vok, who we see in this episode.
Hmm. I'm tempted to look it up. I don't
Okay,
know
go for it.
if it's gonna spoil it or not.
I don't think so.
Um,
I don't know. Because we
hmm.
already know Ash Tyler is Vok.
Okay, played by Vok is played by Shazad Latif,
Okay.
and
I
it
don't
is
think
Tyler. It is Tyler.
it is.
Yeah,
It's the same guy. It is the same actor.
same
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So when did this air?
Wow.
2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Do you think there was some like
Sorry, buddy.
fan
Hang
back
on.
in the day? Yeah.
Bravo, Discovery. Bravo. Bravo.
Do you think there was like some hardcore Star Trek fan back in the day who was like looking at the credits and was like, it's the
Absolutely.
same actor? And like figured it out
Absolutely.
right away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like
Come
that
on, buddy.
first.
We both know there are, with the greatest reverence and the greatest respect, that there are fans out there of all franchises, whether it's Battlestar, Dune, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Star Wars, you name it. And I say this with the most utmost respect because man, they are. I'm like, wow. There was an eagle-eyed fan out there that spotted that and said, "Oh man, they are the same."
I wonder if the showrunners were smart enough to mask that in the credits.
Maybe,
Like,
maybe.
but even if they did that, that would be a red flag. They would be like, why
Right.
is Vok not credited? And then they would start
Right.
speculating and
Because
yeah.
you've been to enough cons, right? To been
Hmm.
like to see those convention rooms where it's like some fan picks out like, you know, I don't know. Palpatine had gray robes in episode 6, but he's now got black robes in Empire Strikes, or whatever the case might be. There are those eagle-eyed fans that will do that and like, you know, do the due diligence of their fandom and
Sure.
pick that out. Wow.
Well, to me, that squashes the idea that it is purely brainwashing. So we're dealing with the
Yeah,
real
yeah,
McCoy here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, we'll have to wait for that answer from Laurel.
And what answers that?
Whether, or not, whether or not non-actor picking wise that Vok is Tyler, Tyler is Vok. Like, we're not
Mhm.
still talking about sleeper agent still. because
Sure.
that could just be a major coincidence.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like, in an effort to like save money.
That that'd be a hell of a way to throw everyone off
I
too.
know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
Okay. Well, so just to, you know, close the loop on the Vok thing. So when Burnham and Tyler go down to the rebel base,
Hmm.
she reveals right away that she's like, "Hey, I'm double crossing my Terran
Yeah,
empire here.
yeah. Hmm.
So I just need proof that you can give me that will show them I was here, but then you guys escape and you'll have time to leave.
Hmm.
And Terran Empire are being none the wiser. They're going to
Right,
destroy your base, but you need to evacuate." And
right,
they give him the proof.
right.
So while they're there, she meets the counterpart of her dad,
Yeah.
which is
I mean,
pretty
who else would
amazing.
be the prophet?
Sure, yeah.
Although I say that now, but I was like, huh, who's gonna be the prophet? And I was like, should have guessed.
He mind melds her,
Yep.
verifies what she's saying is true.
Hmm.
So that was nice. He didn't let on that it was his daughter. I assume he knew from that venture into her mind. Even if it
Yeah.
was a counterpart, I would have assumed he would have recognized that it was his daughter.
So he recognizes that that she is
Oh, wait a minute.
his
Hold on.
adopted
So,
daughter in the regular universe. Hmm.
adopted daughter.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like in the regular universe.
Yeah.
It may not play out the same in the mirror universe. Because
So
how
Prophet
would
Derek doesn't adopt
yes,
near
right,
Burnham.
because I don't know how a subservient lower alien species could adopt a human under the Terran
Mhm.
Empire,
Got it. Agreed. Totally agreed. And
right?
I actually forgot she was for some reason I thought her mom or something
Yeah.
was her biological mom. But no, they're
Okay.
both adoptive parents.
Okay.
Totally spaced that.
I
Okay.
think, but going on that though, I do think she will be the adopted daughter of Giorgio.
Hmm.
I do
Okay.
think either that or yeah, no, 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 no. I do think she has a very, very deep connection to Philippa. And I think it goes
Okay.
deeper than just mentor mentee in the regular universe, right? Philippa took Burnham under her wing, all that kind of stuff. I think she will have the same story, except it will be with Philippa. Excuse me.
Interesting. Okay.
I could be wrong.
And that's how she'll be spared for her insolence there at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so just to finish off that scene with the rebel base, so um Vok, regular Vok sees Mir Vok, who
Hmm.
has not been surgically altered,
Hmm.
and attacks him, and that's how he
Because he's
reveals to
speaking
Burnham that he's
English. He's
yeah,
speaking English.
and that's how he reveals to Burnham that he is Vok.
Yes.
And then so um he attacks Burnham, and because of that, the Terran Empire arrests him and sentences him to death. And
Cruel,
Burnham said,
cruel way. Oof.
"Yeah, they're gonna transport him into
Oof.
space."
Oof.
And so at the last second, Burnham goes, "He dies by my hand." and she sends him in such a way that the Shinzo can pick him up. And then we find out she actually planted the I'm sorry, the Discovery.
The
The
yeah,
Discovery picks him
ISS,
up.
yeah, the Discovery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Discovery picks him up, and
Yeah.
she planted a chip in him or on his like in his pocket,
Yeah.
and it's the whole point of why she was there was to try
Hmm.
to get this encrypted data on the
USS Defiant.
USS Defiant, which has now appeared in at least four separate Star Trek
Yes.
series
Yes.
related to the Mirror
Amazing.
Universe and time
Amazing.
travel, including one of the Enterprise episodes we
Yes.
talked about. And
Yes.
so the Defiant is the key, they think, to getting the Discovery back to the
Yes.
regular universe. So mission accomplished. So now Saru and Tilly, et cetera, have the data they need, and they're going to analyze it. And so it's an exciting place. I can't wait to see the next episode. I can't wait to see what they do with the data and if they figure it
Yep.
out.
Yep. And
That's about it.
unlike Star Wars, the Empire does destroy the rebellion in one swift stroke.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, was there anything else? What would you give this episode, Jason? What would you grade it, rank it?
You know, there were a lot of things that I really liked about this episode. Um, I was thinking about a lieutenant commander, but you know what? I am going to um promote it to a commander's episode. 3 pips what do I usually do? 5 or 6 for an admiral's episode?
Okay.
6, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, or
So
5.
you said 3 out of 5?
Yeah, yeah. I think this
Okay.
was a really good episode, and it because it makes you want more, right? It makes you want to find out, like, you know, Stamets's, journey into the mycelium network, how they're going to escape the Terran Empire, especially if they're being taken back to the Terran homeworld, Earth. Um, you know, all that kind of stuff. What Lorca's plans are. Um, and I thought there were some really fine moments. Where Tilly, this goes back to like one of the first episodes. Burnham and Tilly are talking about the command program, and there's a little bit of growth. There's some growth with Sylvia. And she's like, if I do this well enough, would you consider promoting me to, you know, or not promoting, but to to Saru to like,
Sure.
recommend her to the command program. And then I think,
Yeah.
and then the other thing too is, how they delve into this now new Ash Tyler Burnham relationship, and then the relationship he's got with the rest of the ship now. Now that he's, a murderer, right? And that he's actually a Klingon, and, that he's killed Hugh or Dr. Culber, how Stamets, welcomes him back, doesn't welcome him back, because, you're basically confronting, the killer of your boyfriend lover. And then the other thing too was the the entire episode, and I love that they did that. Like, I love that Burnham, that there was a theme that she's like, the longer I'm here, the more I lose myself to this cruel, cruel world, right? This cruel universe where she has to watch these executions and the torture chambers and all that kind of stuff. So, and I think that's the
Sure.
first time Star Trek has ever delved not deeply into that, but at least a little bit, right?
Sure. And have they had multi episodes in the Mirror universe like this before? Isn't it always a one-off?
Um,
Because this has been a pretty long arc, right? Or in
I
the
think it
mirror,
will
is
be.
it?
Yeah, no, I think it will be. I think it'll be 2, 3. I think it's gonna be 2, 3 more episodes. I want to say they've usually been one, but Deep Space Nine does 2 or 3 episodes over
Okay,
multiple seasons, though, not
got
all in
it.
one season.
I see. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, loved it too. I thought your critique of it was beautiful. I don't know if I could add to that. I did. I thought it really like all paths have led to this point, which is very satisfying.
Hmm.
I like that kind of TV that builds to something, and I think it was beautifully done in this episode. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, I normally do the letter grades.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, teacher, grade the
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
Come
I'd
on,
give it an
Professor
A.
Gabe.
I'd give it an A. I'd give it like a
Okay,
92 point. Um, no, just like a 92%.
okay, nice. Like a
Yeah,
solid A. That's pretty good.
yeah. So I some of the emotions that you're referring to with Burnham too. Like I liked when she told Tyler. She said to Tyler, like, you told me that I'm your tether, but I need a tether also. And I think you really
Yeah.
like did a really good job of like letting you in on how isolated she feels. Like
Yes.
I thought that was really good character development there
Yes.
as far as like empathizing with the character and what she's up against, what she's dealing with. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. No question about it. And I and it's gonna be really interesting to me to see how they work through that because of that. Because, you just got betrayed
Yeah,
majorly.
by her first love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone
That's
who not only her first love, but like the first time she ever even like had the idea of loving someone because she was so Vulcan
yep.
that she was never even considered having a romantic relationship or whatever. It was just wasn't
Yes,
logical.
exactly.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
And that to me, I have a real soft spot. I'm not going to get into it, but I have a real soft spot for that.
yeah.
So I think, yeah. So how do you think this plays out?
Long
How do you
time
think,
listeners
how do you
will know
think this,
exactly what Jason's talking about.
how do you think this plays out?
Oh,
Is Vok a sleeper? Is Tyler Vok, or is he just a sleeper still? Or did that, you know,
I think the
he's played by the
actor
same
playing both
actor?
to me
Yeah.
confirms it is Vok.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, I think he'll escape and Burnham will kill him. They'll get in a fight and she'll kill him.
Ooh. She will kill him? You think she will kill him?
You
Ouch.
know what? No, no, I take it back because I like the idea of a like long-standing villain. I think he'll get away and he'll
Oh,
continue to
okay.
be the like main bad guy
In
throughout the whole
human form, or
series.
do you think he'll get changed back?
Oh, oh, yeah. I guess I initially I was thinking he would get changed back, but maybe it's more interesting if he doesn't get changed back.
Right? Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, so I think he stays human and he's but mentally the whatever that thing was, the like implanted humanness, I think that just goes away and he just goes full
And he becomes
Vulcan and
Klingon again.
human.
He goes full
Or
Klingon.
I said Vulcan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Klingon.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Yep.
Klingon and but he'll be in human body
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay. Okay.
I think that'd be
Ooh.
really interesting.
Ooh. Wow. The Klingon Empire trying to be led by a human.
Yeah,
Ooh. Ooh. That'll be really interesting if they go in that direction. I'd watch that
seems
Star Trek.
unlikely. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. I mean, can you imagine? That would bring a whole new level of corruption to the later Klingon empire that we see built in Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Like
Hey, how about this
another
though?
secret to preserve the empire, to be
How about
buried
this?
to preserve the empire. Amazing. That would be amazing.
What if Vok um, forces some of his subjects to also go through the surgery? And then that explains why 10 years later, there's a whole army of human
Could
looking
be humanoid
Klingons
Klingons. Could
in
be,
the
could be. Wow.
original
Another
series.
another explanation for the original series. Wow. Okay. Wow. I you think I'm joking. I totally I'm with you, buddy. I think that could be I mean the amount of potential and possibility in that. That's
Yeah, so good episode. But honestly, dude, I have no idea what's going to happen. I do think your Lorca thing is going to be right. Um, I I want to see if the idea of him like stringing Burnham along was part of his grand scheme the whole time.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
that's something I'm looking forward to for sure.
And what do you think is the reason?
Just simply just using her because
To no, like okay, I should rephrase. What do you think his ultimate goal is then?
I mean something to do with the Emperor. Um, man, so because I think he also wants that data, but not for the Defiant. I think he wants it for something else. Like maybe it's like the plans to
Ooh.
the Death Star or something.
Oh,
And
oh,
that's how he'll infiltrate
oh,
the Emperor's lair. I don't know.
oh, okay.
I don't know. What do you think it is?
I, I think he just wants to replace her. I think he wants to take her spot.
Yeah. But like
But and use it to go back also to go back to the regular universe and conquer that as well. Now that they
but
know.
see but see I'm operating on the assumption that he like chose to go to the regular universe in order to get Burnham to bring her back. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was his whole plan all along.
Mm-hmm.
So like as far as replacing the Emperor, why do you think he needed Burnham to do it? Like what 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 role does this whole plot line play in his scheme?
Because I think because I think I should say, because I think Burnham is connected in some very special, meaningful way to the Emperor.
Yeah, the adoptive daughter.
Yeah,
So trying to
not
get close to the
confirmed,
father.
but that's what I think. That's what I
Okay,
think.
so trying to get close to the
Yeah.
emperor via her
Mm-hmm.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And probably, essentially, if Lorca did escape, it's got to be for some reason, unless it was on her orders, but I doubt it because it makes it seem like she's been hunting him for a while and that he is not on her good side. I think that he is trying to prove to the Emperor that because he has befriended, gotten her back in a way, right? Like, it, from what I remember, um, Mira Burnham is dead or
hmm
like missing or something.
yeah,
And I think he brings her back and says, look, I found her, even though it's not the mirror one, right?
Sure.
Brought some form of Burnham back to
Yeah.
get close, and then, you know, Brutus style to Caesar stabs her and kills her or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Or it would be interesting to see if they battled, like the two
Yeah.
went, you know, and battled.
Yeah. Hmm. All
So,
right.
yeah,
I'm excited.
me too.
Anything else with this episode?
No, I think we covered it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Did you see that the director of two-thirds of the Andor show is going to be directing a Star Trek movie?
I did. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how well he translates from from one franchise to another.
Yeah. I can't
And
wait for that.
the other thing too is like he's done such an amazing job. Obviously, you and I both agree that he's done an amazing job with like Andor, the series
Mhm.
that like it's gonna be a game of can you top this, right?
Sure.
And I and I don't want to set myself up to too high expectations.
Sure.
So,
And then
but I think he could do
Grogu.
well.
Yeah, I think so too. And then Grogu's coming to the big screen. Did you see that?
No, what? I'm not
Yeah, there's gonna be
surprised, but
it's gonna be a
really,
movie.
there's gonna be
Yeah.
a Mando movie.
Yep. And then when that was revealed, Filoni, I always mess his name up. I always say Fellini. Filoni,
Filoni, Dave, yeah.
yeah, said that he's working on it, but then he also confirmed he's working on Ahsoka season two. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Wow. Okay, do you think this is gonna be a Mandalorian heavy like battle centered movie for
oh
the Mandalorian?
man, I didn't even think about it. I don't know. I think
Okay.
Grogu's gonna die. I've been saying this for
I know
years,
you've
but
been
I think
saying that
Grogu's gonna
since
die.
day one. I know. I know.
Yeah. But I
I
think
know.
the
I
movie
know.
is finally how Grogu dies.
I know. It's gonna be very hard for Disney to go, we can't really sell dead Grogu action figures and dolls.
No, that's a good point because like really little kids love Grogu.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and there, even if maybe that was their initial plan, there's
Mm,
just no way. Yeah.
mm, mm. Did Grogu die?
And they still call him Baby Yoda.
Right.
So,
Wow, there's a lot of news coming out of the
yeah.
SWU recently. I didn't catch any of that.
Yeah, well, they got to do something to get the investors excited. So,
So in your mind, is are movies the way to go, or do you think they should continue focusing on series and
I think this movie is going to bomb, this Mando movie. I think it's going to bomb hard,
mm.
and that will.
Because I was just about to ask you, what do you think? Do you think there's anything out there right now that would warrant like that should deserve another like a movie?
Well, I mean, the Zelda is going to be a movie. We talked about that last
No,
time,
no, no,
right?
no. In the Star Wars universe, like, do you think there should be a
Oh,
character like Ahsoka,
mm,
Palpatine the movie, Kenobi again?
yeah, dude, Kenobi, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. I mean, are you asking me what you think what do I think would succeed or what would
Yeah,
I like to see?
yeah, both, both. And if they're the same, then they can be the same. I mean,
See, I'm like,
so
okay,
you're
that
kind of lukewarm on the Mando movie. tepid water
surprisingly,
temperature.
surprisingly, like I'm like less excited about that than I am for the Rey Skywalker movie that's going to come out in like 3 years.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay, okay,
um, that I will definitely see like day one.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, as far as like what would get the audience out, man, I don't even know. I don't know. Like I feel like people probably feel burned, and that's why by the time Rise of Skywalker, what was that movie called? Was that what it was called? Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of
The,
Skywalker,
by the
yeah, the last
by
one.
the time that yeah, by the time that came out, people were so done. They were just like over it. I mean, I'm sure it made its money in the box office, but I don't think it like set any records. And I know it got destroyed by the critics, right?
Yeah,
So I just have no clue.
okay.
But I personally am not as like anti certain things as most, Star Wars fans are notorious for hating Star Wars more than anyone else, which is interesting.
Yeah,
There's like a meme that's like no one hates Star Wars as much
more.
as Star Wars
Yeah, I
fans.
saw that. I've seen that a couple of times. I've seen a couple of variations of that. Yeah. But that just shows how much people love it and how crazed they can be. You
Yeah.
know.
Rise of Skywalker 51% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
That's
Not the
critics.
worst, but like, ooh.
That's critics. And then the
Yeah.
audience score was 86.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. What would you
Okay.
want to see? Hey, you know what? By the way, Rise of Skywalker did $1 billion, so I might have been dead wrong there
How does that
at
compare
the
to the
box
rest of
office.
the movies in the although I could bet I could see that doing very well. Adjusted for inflation and all that kind of stuff. What would I
Yeah,
like to see? No one wants to see my Star Wars movie. No one. So we'll not let's not talk about that again.
okay. I know what I was thinking. So The Force Awakens made 2 billion.
Yeah, that one was huge because there was a lot of hype to it, right? There was a lot of like
Yeah.
hope and hype for it. Yeah.
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 So and it's weird. I do think they kind of like feel maybe like so like Rise of Skywalker, um Force Awakens 2 billion. Last
Mm-hmm.
Jedi was
Mm-hmm.
1
Mm-hmm.
1.3 billion. And then Rise of
Oh.
Skywalker is 1 billion. So even though it only made $1 billion, I do
Right.
think that
It
they
was
look at that as like maybe not a failure, but a sign
sure.
of we're doing this wrong, or
Yeah.
this is failing.
Yeah. And it was.
So
You could call
yeah,
it that. Yeah, for sure. But I think that's why they've taken a break. Right? That was one
yeah,
of the major
exactly.
reasons they've taken a break from major filmmaking in the
Agreed.
series. But yeah, no one wants to see my Star Wars movie that I want to see made.
I know what yours is.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, we've talked about it.
Yours,
But
yeah, yours is like Remnants of the Empire.
yeah. Hmm.
The Solo movie only made 390 million.
Yeah, see, that's terrible. I know you loved it.
It, I don't know if I loved it. I liked it.
Yeah, you liked it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But was that the same movie that you were like, "Oh, you know what? After I watched it, yeah, it wasn't good." Well, which one of those was the movies that you were like, "Oh, I love that one," but then you're like, "Oh no, I saw it again and it was terrible or not that great or whatever it was." Was it the
Hmm.
Solo movie? I thought it was the Solo movie where you were like, "Oh man, I really like that." And then you go, "Nope. Saw it again. Nope. Don't like it as much."
I'm not sure, man. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay, okay,
If I remember, I'll let you know.
okay.
But see, that's why I think that the Mandalorian movie is gonna tank. I do think that there is a big um fan base for Mandalorian.
Yes.
Like I talk to people all the time who are like they call out the Mandalorian as like one of their favorite
Yeah,
shows.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
But
yeah. Yeah. It blows Kenobi out of the water. It blows Ahsoka out of the water generally. I don't know how people feel about Andor, but I could see that too.
yeah, um, I just don't know if it's enough. I don't know. I don't know if it's like billion-dollar box office, which I think is what Disney like requires now, basically.
Yeah. I could see that like I could see them making a big epic in tying probably not. Oh gosh, we've had this conversation so many times. Where is it again in the timeline? Because you could bring in Boba Fett, right?
Mm,
You obviously bring KT Sackhoff,
yeah.
obviously.
Hmm.
Pedro Pascal. You make it a big epic. Like maybe it's a big unifying Andor thing against, a the Empire or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like
Hmm.
Thrawn, you could throw Thrawn. I think Thrawn, is he back by
Yeah.
now? Thrawn, is that?
Well,
I mean,
he, yeah, I
because he
mean,
does have a
it
history in that,
depends.
right?
It depends if it's set after the Ahsoka time, he'll be in our universe
Right,
or in the Star Wars universe. But if it's
right.
before that, then he'll be
Still in that
yeah, the
planet
far
thing or whatever.
reaches of
Right, the far,
far
yeah,
reaches of space.
yeah,
No, I see, I agree. But what you're saying is how they could make a good story that you and I would enjoy. But
yeah.
you have to think like when Force Awakens makes
I
$2 billion,
mean, if
that's
Baby
that's when
Groot is
people
in it, I mean, I think that's gonna draw quite a few
that'd
people.
be a big one. But like people like my dad, so like my dad
Yeah,
would saw probably episodes, you know, 1 through like 8 in the theater. But it gets to a point where you have to keep up with the
right,
some of the nuance and Star Wars the hell out of the movie. But now they're being required to do it and they're
yeah,
not interested.
yeah,
Was happy to go see um even like episode one, I remember seeing it with him and like he didn't even know he was watching a prequel.
right,
I remember him asking questions like, and he thought Anakin was Luke Skywalker, and he was um, like to him, like the idea of a prequel was just kind of the idea of like, oh, it's not a sequel, it's a prequel. Like even that word Star Wars, and we're gonna go see the Star Wars movie, and like I think just jettisoned, and it's just maybe they dabbled in they saw the Last Jedi, and they're like, I don't care. It's too specific now that I'm done. And then by the time Rise of Skywalker came out, they were just done.
right.
And then Mandor is that times 10
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
because you
yeah,
have to watch three seasons or four seasons, whatever it is,
yeah,
of like an hour long episodes or whatever. Um, and people just aren't going to do it. Like me, you will do it because we're nerds. But
totally.
I think there's a huge swath of the general public is
Yeah.
just not going to do it.
But you know the
So I
other thing
think
too
Mando will
is
do another. I think he'll do like 600, 700 million or something.
I'm curious, like though, I'm curious though, and you make a really good point, and I agree with you. But if you, I'm curious though, like if filmmakers now have to reset their expectations, right? Film producers, like I don't know, I can't remember the last movie that people got people clamoring to go see again, to making that kind of money. Because like even you go to the movie theater now, which you know, yes, I've done it. We've done it with Barbie and Oppenheimer and a couple others. But do you think that like that big turnout to going to the movies at the box office is the same now?
No, no. Yeah. I mean, um, yeah, I can't even remember the last one that was, the big like cultural, just like the monoculture
Yeah,
thing that everybody sees, everyone's talking about.
yeah. I mean, Barbie, I think comes close, right? I think a lot of people went to go see that. But
I
other
didn't.
than that, right? Like even the new Marvel
I streamed it
movies
later.
don't,
No.
aren't making the dollar amount that it used to. Um, Even Oppenheimer, I don't think,
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
a Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan movie, right? That
Right.
used to be able to bring in $1 billion, or
Hmm.
whatever, close to that or whatever. So, you know,
Yeah. Honestly, dude, last year was all about Taylor Swift. There was no
right.
other monoculture thing that united everybody. It was just
Right.
her.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if that's true for movies too much anymore these days. Did you see Oppenheimer, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah. I Nolan like refuses to do special effects. He only does practical effects.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed, or I was a little let down by the bomb itself. I thought
What do
it
you mean?
looked very like backyard bonfire. It was loud, but visually, I thought it was. I wasn't the build up to it was not. It didn't live up to its build up.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Really? Oh,
yeah. I wanted to see a mushroom
a
cloud.
mushroom cloud?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted
Yeah,
to
okay.
see.
Okay.
I wanted to see a nuclear blast.
Right, 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 right.
So, but because he won't do special effects, he could only show an explosion that he could actually create, and thus we didn't get a nuclear bomb because he's not
Right,
making
right,
nuclear bombs.
right, 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 right.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yep.
uh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Good talking to you again.
As
I'll
always,
see you
glad to be
this
back.
weekend.
Glad to be back in the co-captain's chairs.
Yeah, I'll see you this weekend. Maybe we'll do this in person.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm excited.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you believe it,
everybody
folks?
think
We don't do this in the same room.
um, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. Follow us on X and Instagram and TikTok. Most importantly, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Spotify or wherever you get podcasts. And we also have a Patreon where you can get early access to these episodes But not only that, if you become a patron on Patreon, we will um, we will thank you at the end of every episode. We will read your name in this moment, this part of the show. We'll read your name. And besides that, until next time, live long and prosper.
And may the force be with you always.
See ya.
Take care.
Later, Jason.
Take care, buddy.
Talk to you soon, man.